So day 5 in Copenhagen. We just left the hotel. Today we're going up to Copenhagen Zoo. It's about a 30-minute walk to get there, or it's about 10 minutes on the Lime scooters. The public transport and the safety over here is fantastic. They've actually got dedicated bike lanes on pretty much every road. So this is what we'll be taking. The idea of this is you just scan the QR code on it, it unlocks it, and you get going basically. So we're going to take that. That's about a 10-minute journey up to there. Right, well, that was a bit of a drama. We've made it to the zoo. Initially it's supposed to be 10 minutes, but Becky had a few incidents on the way. The first Lime scooter that she picked up looked like it had been in a car accident, and we got halfway and it wouldn't accelerate. We changed it to a different one that didn't have battery, and then we couldn't find any more, so we ended up walking the remainder. So all in all, it took us about 30 minutes, but we are here at the zoo, as you can see. There's a cool lookout tower there, so we're going to find out what that is. I'll show you guys some of that. Yeah, so we're right opposite their park, and the Frederiksborg Palace is behind as well. So we're going to head through the gates of the zoo now. Right, we've made it inside the zoo at this point, and as I said before, this is the tower behind us. So that is 10 Danish kroner to go up there. We didn't actually bring any cash with us on this holiday, so we can't go up there. We're sort of making our way around. We've had a look at the map, see where we go. This behind me is a lion. So we've got a pretty good view there. Just over here is the camel. So this is the lion just here. So the zoo is split up into two parts. We've got one larger area on this side of the road, and then on the other side of the road you've got another area. So we're actually going to explore the other area first, and then come back to this. The layout of this place seems a little bit weird. They normally save the high ticket items till last, so having a lion right at the start here is pretty weird, but also quite cool. It's got quite a bit of space, nice open air, and just chilling. We've made our way over to the other side of the zoo, and as you can see, we found the giraffes over here. So they've got a significant amount of space. Looks like all the animals seemingly have quite a bit of space. Over here, they've got a section where they do training for the giraffes. So just through there, a platform that they'll get the giraffe to go in, and they can do medical checks on it and make sure the giraffe is in good health. To give you a bit of wayfinding, just there is the giraffes. As we make our way down this ramp, we come to the rhino. And again, they've got quite a bit of space. So we've got a few different options on ways we can go. It looks to be it's essentially a petting zoo right over there in the middle pane. You can see we've made our way over to the second side. So that's the entrance of the zoo over there. So we're making our way through the zoo at this point, and we've come down here. This is a little bit further into the second section, and this is the Hippo House. So we can see 3 hippos here. We've got one in the right pane, now one in the centre pane, and one in the left pane. Oh, and there's another one just here. Another 2, sorry. So they'll spend the majority of their time under the water. They'll only come up when they need air or something like that. They can stay under the water for quite an extended period of time. That's how they go undetected for quite a while. This building in the background here, that's the Hippo Enclosure. So we've come down this path. Had a look in here. This is the Wallaby Enclosure here. They don't seem to be very active. There's a rather large playground for children as well. So there's a small snack hut there on the right hand side. We'll walk past. Up here is the children's petting zoo, so that'll be goats, Shetland ponies, llamas, that kind of thing. I think that'll be the end of this section of the zoo. We've left the kids play area. We've come over to the children's petting zoo. As you can see, you can get right up close to the goats. This goat is going to be world famous now, if he doesn't bite us first.
You get pet llama up there.
So this is quite a good interactive element for children, and they've got a section to go into should they not want to have that human interaction anymore. So over there, that white building that you see, that's a restaurant. Next to it is the ramp where we came up from the second section. To my right here, this would have been where the monkeys were historically kept. This is what it would have looked like, and this is pretty much why zoos have a bad reputation, because obviously, as you can see, the space that they have is extremely limited. Now, this is the space that they've got currently. As you can hear, they're inside, so they've got their own secluded area. There he is. Over there, you've got the Tasmanian devil. And this building here, right central pane, this is where the zookeeper, the zoo director, would have stayed with his family whilst he was in charge of the zoo. So that's changed slightly now. They don't live on site, it seems, anymore. Over here, as you can see, we've got a walk-through section where you can have the animals come right up to you. The kangaroos, in this case, and the wallabies. So this kangaroo here on the left-hand side actually has a joey in its pouch, or baby kangaroo. If you zoom in, you might be able to see it. It's quite difficult to see. So that'll be why they're not really coming out right now. It's quite a cool section. The zoo's very interactive. It's got some interactive elements for children. So we've made our way into the tropical house, and this is essentially two sections. We did the first section before. There are a lot of birds. There was a sloth in there, and we made our way through the reptile section as well. And now in the second section, as you can see, there's butterflies going around everywhere. We've got more turtles and tortoises, and more birds around as well. So again, it's another interactive element of the zoo. And we've now come to the tiger pen here. So they've just let him out through that door in the middle there. They're probably cleaning out his pen. So he's now got to chill outside. It's a little bit cold, so he's probably much rather be inside right now. He looks a little bit wet actually, but we got a pretty clear view here of him in quite a big pen. So going up here, in this run here is red panda, curled up asleep over there. So if we make our way around this way, we come to the Elephanta house, which quite obviously that is the elephant house. So in here we've got pretty much a bird's eye view of the elephants. So if we follow them out there and see what we can see from the from the bird's eye view here. So it looks like they've got quite a bit of space out here again. A lot of things to play with, to interact with, and keep them entertained. So in that ball that you see the elephant moving around is actually food. So he's tasked with getting the food out from there, and it's more of a natural habitat for them, as food wouldn't necessarily just be gifted to them in their natural environment. And the baby comes to join and get the leaves and make a mess in the process. We've made our way out of the elephant enclosure now, and we've come over. Sorry, there's some seals. There's some sea lions here. Sorry, and they're making some noise. And splashing around. And so over here, in the enclosure next to them, is the penguins, as you can see. So there's a stork that's currently scaring the penguins. It's all up there. They've got another area over there at the back that they can go up, and they'll have their houses in the back there. You might be able to tell what we're coming up to next. This is the panda. They're normally pretty difficult to see because they spend 90% of their time sleeping, which seems quite appropriate. So he's just over there in the back. You can't really see him. So, as you can see, down the bottom there, chilling out, eating his food. So they're normally very difficult to see because they spend the majority of their time sleeping or eating, so they hide away from the crowd. We've got a pretty good shot here. There is a restaurant down there where you see the glass. And again, they got quite a big enclosure, plenty of food, space, and space to hide away. So this animal here is an Arctic fox. You can see there's another one over there at the back. As you can see, polar bears are just sat there down the back. There's a couple of them there. It's quite a difficult view, but I think this might be one of the best shots that we're going to get of them. Next stop on our tour of the zoo today is the Primate House, as you can see. Got some lemurs. And this guy's got a pretty cool moustache going on. We finished our adventure in the zoo. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed having a look around, seeing the kind of animals that are over here. A couple in particular that you don't normally see. So the pandas were pretty cool. They're very rare in zoos around Europe and this kind of area. I know there's a couple in Edinburgh. Vienna Zoo's got a couple as well. San Diego I've been to, they've got some in that zoo. But it's very rare to see because a lot of them are shipped over from China as opposed to being bred here. It's very difficult to breed pandas, so it's always good to see. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and if you do like it, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified when we post a new video. We've got one more thing to see today, and that'll be the planetarium, and then we're heading to the airport later on this evening. Well, we've made our way back down the hill. We took another one of the electric scooters. The company that we've actually grown to like is a company called Voi, VOI. It works out about 10 to 15% cheaper than the Lime scooters, and generally they're in a better condition. The handlebars are slightly lower down, so you've got a better grip on the actual handlebars, easier to steer and such, whereas the Lime scooters, they're probably about 15 centimeters higher, so it makes it difficult for someone like me who's particularly short. That journey would have taken us around about 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes had we walked, or potentially been quite expensive had we got a taxi. So being able to take the scooter saved us a lot of time and a lot of money. So we now made our way down the hill to the planetarium. Again, this is included on the Copenhagen card. The zoo was included on the Copenhagen card as well, and that was a £22 value. So we'd already made our money back on day 1 and 2, if you saw the stuff that we did on those days. So essentially, everything we did from day 3, 4 and 5 hasn't cost us anything. So we're going to head inside the planetarium now, see what's happening in there. Right, so we've just come out of the planetarium in Copenhagen. Not really something that I could take you guys inside for. As soon as we got in, we watched a 30-minute presentation on an IMAX screen, full surround sound, and that was effectively the history of time, going through the Big Bang and showing you the solar system, all of the planets and what they're made up of. Then went into talking a little bit about something they called the VLT, which is a very large telescope. That's the acronym they've chosen, that's the name they've gone for, the VLT. And what that was basically is a telescope in the desert, a series of telescopes in the desert, made up of a handful of telescopes that give you more information of the universe than ever before, essentially. The reason it's located in the desert is you're not able to have any man-made light interfere with it in any way, shape or form. We then, after the presentation, after the 30-minute video, we've walked around the perimeter of the planetarium, and there's various exhibitions that show you, again, the Big Bang, what you're made up of, be it oxygen, energy, carbon, the likes, and various things like that. So it's quite a good experience. That was about £20 per person. We were only in there for around about an hour, so I don't know if it's necessarily worth it, but it's a very educational experience. So it's definitely something that you should bring a child to if they're interested in space, science, anything along those lines. If they're a budding astronomer, then I think it's very, very much worthwhile. But that's pretty much it. That's it for our time in Copenhagen. We can go back to the hotel, get our bags, and head to the airport. And we'll see you on the next adventure, wherever it may be. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos we post. Thanks.